News Radio, Wham 1180 welcomes you to the Seniors Rock Show, presented by Effortlessly Healthy Meals. The Seniors Rock Show is a lively weekly discussion shining a bright light on aging with fun, entertaining, and important info for all adults. Join in with your comments or questions. Call 222-1180 or 1-800-295-1180. Now, live from the News Radio Wham 1180 studios in downtown Rochester, here's your host, Joanna Palvino.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I'm Mike MATTEO, the CEO and General Manager for the Village at Unity. Joanna's going to be jumping on in a couple of minutes. Couple of technical difficulties with connectivity. It's an interesting day down here in Prattsburgh, New York, where I'm broadcasting from my home studio, also known as the back of my house. Loki the dog is here, along with my wife Louise. She is home today, so it is all right. It's a little overcast, but we're going to make the best of it. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff coming up, so stay with us. Peter Gordon's going to be here in a little bit. He is the indoor air quality consultant and founder of Indoor Air Professionals. Last time we chatted, he had a lot of good stuff to talk about, so I can't wait to hear from that. Village at Unity in Hamlet, we've got some updates there, and Joanna was going to tell you, so I'll brag on me for just a little bit if I have to. It is a vibrant community for older adults. And a quick story on this. We have a chorus made up of residents that we put together. And I got to tell you, they did a show just this week. And one of our gentlemen, I won't call him out by name, he asked me not to. He's never sung before. And he did a solo on The Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha, which is probably one of the hardest songs to sing because of the soaring notes that it has. And he just crushed it. And when he got done, he pumped his fist in the air. And that's what aging is about. It's trying something maybe you haven't done before, or finding that courage to do things in front of your peers. It was amazing. They also did a piece from The Lion King, and Louise and I just seen that on Broadway just last week. They did a fabulous job. Probably one of the best and most fun times I've had at the Village in a long, long time, just watching these folks go. And made up in this chorus are people from our Opal community, and that's our memory care community, that are able to come in and do what they wanted to do. The Village is an amazing campus. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. We still got concerts left for this summer, and it is always fun to do. So, Joanna, are you with us?
Well, good morning. I'm back.
Good morning.
Yeah, nice to see you all and to hear everyone. I'm sorry I had a little issue there, but I am back. And go ahead. I'm not sure where we are right now, but I'll just jump right in wherever it is.
All right. Well, we were talking about summer concert series. We still have 2 shows to go. And believe it or not, we had our first rain out. The last concert. It's the first time in 5 years that we've had to cancel a concert. And it was okay because one of the stars of the band was actually injured and wasn't going to be able to play anyway. So we've rescheduled him for September the 17th. That's the Tommy Burnett Band. They're coming back. And this coming Tuesday, I'm inviting everybody that's listening, everybody that you know, because Ruby Shoes is going to be on our back lawn. And that is a party. I got to tell you, there's going to be 500, 600, 700 people, and half of them are going to be up and dancing the minute that band starts. So hang out. Yep. Showtime is 6:30. The gates open at 5. Our concessions are there. Our beer and wine vendor is there. Our ice cream guy is there. So man, stop on by and just have a free night on us. No cover charge. Just walk on in.
And it's awesome. All you have to do is bring a chair to sit on if you are going to sit. Most people are dancing, like Mike said, but it is a blast. We saw Ruby Shoes last year, and actually that is Mike Robinson's sister's favorite band. So I think we're going to have a few people. The other thing I wanted to mention is that it is also volunteers at Unity that are going to be honored, and there's going to be a 25% discount at the Village concessions for those folks that volunteer at Unity, right? That's this coming.
Absolutely. We've been doing special event or special programming all summer long with the concerts. We did one for Grease Chamber, and then Tommy Burnett's night is going to be military appreciation. So if you are there, stop on in. honest to gosh, with the military ID one, we don't ask for ID. We just, if you served, you
Right.
served, and feel free. But we want to see you
Awesome.
come out. We want to honor you and the work that you've done or the service that you've given, just with a little bit of a thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing Unity volunteers come over, because that is a very big group, cool group. They do so much work, and it's so important to Unity Hospital that the thousands of hours that the Unity volunteers give helps that organization pretty much stay solvent. If they had to pay payroll for all of this work, it's that much harder to give the quality
Mhm.
service that they do. So if you're looking for a volunteer opportunity, I would tell you, give them a call over there, Unity Volunteer Services, and say, yeah, I heard this guy talking about it on the radio.
Yeah.
And
We have
uh,
a
and
neighbor, Mike, I was
and go
gonna
ahead.
say, we have a neighbor, Mary Jo, who does that. She volunteers at Unity, and when I had my, or John had his hip replaced, she walked by in the hall, we're like, "Hey," but she was great, and she told us she loves doing it. She enjoys it very much and gets her out of the house, and, she gets to meet a lot of nice people, so it is a great thing to do.
It is, and you just again for you get this feeling of I've accomplished something the day that wasn't all just for me. You're giving back, even if it's a couple hours a week. It's so valid and so valuable to
Mhm.
have folks come in and do what they do. So
And we
that's
did
my stump.
appreciate it. Yeah, we did appreciate it for sure. And that's one of the things. I don't know if you mentioned this, but in the beginning of the show, when I was going to be on, I was going to mention that the Village at Unity and the Hamlet, they're both leisure care communities. You probably mentioned that, but you've won national honors for multiple years now, and that's pretty cool because you're like the best in the class. And we love all the things you do on your campus. You're talking about the music series. Is there anything else new that I missed or you haven't talked about yet?
Nothing really new yet that we're ready to release as we head
Mm.
into the fall festival season. And we're going to start looking at doing some more things campus wide that would include Unity Hospital. So, some bigger events, maybe. We now own the stage that we used to rent from Barnard. Barnard was kind enough to sell it to us so we can tow that little guy everywhere and set
It's a
up
big
some
one,
fun
really.
stuff. Yeah, it's a good size.
Not that small.
Um, and, and just looking to do stuff that makes it innovative. I mean, there's not a lot of senior communities that have a boutique, high quality hospital in their backyard. And there's not a lot of hospitals that have a world class senior community in their backyard. And
Mhm.
we want folks to start to recognize that, hey, this is kind of a cool corner of Greece. So right now, Robot's cheering because he's hearing me. It's a pretty cool corner of Greece that we want to draw some attraction to. I know you wanted to talk just a little bit about what's going on in the industry,
Yes,
and
yes.
I will tell you that what we're seeing is the housing market in Rochester is still fairly strong. So if you're in that space where you're looking at your house and saying, how much longer do I want to do this? You're still getting a really good return on your housing investment. It has not collapsed. It's not as high as it was in 2022, but it's still a fairly robust market,
Mhm.
and maybe something to take a look at. What could the next part of my life, the next part of my journey look like if I wanted to get out of owning my own home and letting somebody else cut the lawn, weed the weeds, shovel the snow, cook for me, clean for me, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I encourage people just to not be closed on it. Just take a look and
Yeah,
see what
and
there
plan
is
your
to see.
social things for you. I mean, there's so many social things. We talk about that all the time, I know. But I think it's really important because I think people are afraid that if they go into a senior housing community that they're going to have to like, oh, we won't be able to do anything anymore. We'll just sit in our apartment. No, that is not the case. That is not the case.
And if
And
you want to, that's fine. I mean, we have
mhm.
people that
Yeah,
come
if
out
you want
maybe
to.
once a day. They come out for a
Yep.
specific event that they like.
Mhm.
Our Prime Fit Wellness program. Oh my gosh, we have an advanced walking group that went to Cobb's Hill the other day, and they're
Oh,
getting
fun.
ready to start doing 5Ks. And in fact, this coming week, this is cool. This coming week, we're doing Pound the Ground for Vets through the Veterans
Oh,
Outreach Center. And I have
nice.
residents that are going on this 5K there. They're not going to run it. And the cool thing that we did was we've got staff volunteering to walk with wheelchairs in case my residents get tired. And both of the residents that are doing it are veterans and they want to give back. So we said,
Nice.
let's support you, and 5K could be a bit of a walk. You need to sit in a chair for a little bit. we'll push you. We'll get you
Yeah.
over that line. I think that's an amazing thing for my team to do. Just amazing.
Your team is amazing, by the way. Every time I've come to an event, and there's been a lot of them, every time, never disappointed, always welcomed, always a smile, always, showing you how to get around, do what's going on out on the campus. And I've enjoyed it very much. And you're correct. There are so many things to do. And as you said, you don't have to enjoy or not, get out and do all of these different things. You can go out by the pond. There's a beautiful pond, sit on a bench and read a book if you want, right? Have a little
Without
quiet
a
time.
doubt.
Yeah. So
Without a
there's
doubt.
lots to do. And you don't have to go to dinners at the same time every day and that kind of thing. There's so many variables there. I mean, with the different restaurants, and it is a very vibrant place. So thank you for what you do there, and with your team too.
You are so welcome. It is all about choice, and far be it
Mhm.
for us to decide what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it. My favorite complaint as we go to break, my favorite complaint is there's too much to do, and I want to do everything. And I said, who
I
does
love
that sound like? And they say Disney. I go, right, that's kind of the idea.
it. It's true. It's a blast over there. And you know what? Okay, so we've covered a lot of the things that are happening at the village now, at Village at Unity, and they're on Long Pond in Greece, as Mike said. After this short break, we're going to take travel off campus because Mike loves to travel, and he's going to tell us about a trip that he took to Iceland. I can't wait. It's the land of fire and ice. Stay right there. Welcome back to Seniors Rock Radio. I am Joanna, your host, and we're going to continue now with Mike Matteo. He's the CEO of the Village at Unity and the Hamlet, and they're over on Long Pond Road in Greece. It's a wonderful place, and we've been talking about that, but we are going to jump off of their campus now and talk about something else. And residents enjoy a really exciting lifestyle over there, and there's many options, as we said, for some healthy fun. Mike Matteo has many responsibilities, but he also knows how important taking some downtime is. So he leaves the campus once in a while, and he discovered not too long ago a newfound passion for travel. And he recently went to Iceland. I haven't gotten to talk to him about it, so I am so excited to hear about it. I hope it was great. And I'm going to ask him to tell us about Iceland, which they call the land of fire and ice. And it's known for its dramatic landscapes. And we've been looking at some pictures, crazy, beautiful volcanoes, and some large glaciers. Mike, please tell us what it was like. It's so exciting to hear about something that I've never done.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you, it was amazing. We flew into Reykjavik and went right onto the boat, and this was a cruise that went from Reykjavik, Iceland, over to Greenland, and then down the Canadian Maritimes. The interesting thing was we got one stop in Iceland, and then the hurricane came. And the
Uh-oh.
captain called a meeting and said, look, if we continue on our itinerary, we're going to be in seas that will be, the waves will come over the seventh deck. And the boat only
Stop
had
it.
14 decks. Yeah. And he said, the boat will be fine. You will not. And we said, fine. So his decision was brilliant. He went and took shelter in the fjords of Greenland. And Joanna, we spent 2 days parked
What?
in this gorgeous fjord that
Wow. I
had
just got goosebumps.
glaciers and icebergs and just nobody around but the people on this boat for 2 glorious days. That beautiful blue sky. We got suntans sitting out on the deck. It was about 55 degrees
Wait,
in the
while the
Arctic
hurricane is
Circle.
going on in another area.
You couldn't even know. You couldn't even know.
Wow. Is that
We
because they're
spent
so
some.
large, the glaciers and the things that were protecting you, the
Yeah,
fjords?
these fjords go for miles into the
Wow.
inland, and we saw whales coming by the boat. How they process the leftover food on the boat is they pulp it and they let it go into the sea so the animals can eat it. And so the whales knew and came
Oh, they're
by
following you, no
and
doubt.
and they
That's
would
so
you just see them
cool.
spout every once and nobody breached, but they would spout every once in a while. It was absolutely gorgeous. And the people in Iceland are wonderful. The people in Greenland, one stop we stopped at was a town called Korkatok, which only has 1,400 residents in the entire town. And they were welcoming and friendly and had said, you're the first cruise ship to come in this year because the icebergs were still in the bay. and we
Wow.
couldn't get anybody in, but they were so welcoming to come in. I tell you, it's I my wife will tell you I'm getting to be a better traveler. I wasn't as nervous
Yeah, it
this
sounds
time.
like it. Well,
The
I'm
first
gonna
time we
fill
went
in.
overseas, I was like, oh, jeepers creepers.
Yeah. Fill the
But
people
this,
in. I mean, you just recently you didn't want to go for traveling. I mean, you told us this story the last time you were on, but if folks are new,
yeah,
recap
I
fast.
am a
Tell them.
homebody. I
Yeah.
never really traveled out of the Northeast.
Okay.
And a couple of years ago, we have some great family down in Texas, Mike and Terry down in Texas, and their in-laws, and they said, "Hey, we like to travel. Why don't you come with us?" And we spent a week in Aruba, which was like, oh my goodness gracious, that's a new thing. Last year, this time, we did Europe, and we did the trade
Yeah.
routes of Europe from Bergen, Norway, down to Barcelona. And I said, yeah, I'm kind of digging this. And
Hmm.
the ship is beautiful. It's a floating hotel. And the real thing is to get off the boat and just walk around and see. Saw rock carvings that local artists had done. I picked up a piece of artwork made out of caribou bone that had been hand carved, and I was able to talk with the artist on what he was creating. And it turns out to be it's an artifact that warriors would carry them to scare off the enemy. And like, this is awesome. I'll take one of these.
Wow.
Uh, and we ate
Is that
great and
Viking lore?
Viking lore. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very much. Greenland was discovered by the Vikings by Leif Erikson and Eric the Red. Eric the Red discovered it as he was kicked out of Greenland or kicked out of Iceland. He was wanted for some crime, and
Is that
so
when
they
he came to
banned.
Scotland?
Basically, yeah, they were making those runs
Yeah.
down that way, and
That's
he
why we're so
discovered
crazy.
Greenland
No.
and said, "Oh, this is kind of neat." But the
Right.
interesting thing is, if you look at the map, there's a very little part of Greenland that actually has people on it, and it's
Wow.
right along the coast. So we spent these 2 amazing days in these fjords, and this Captain Luigi from Norwegian Lines, his last name was Luigi Gentile, 40 years old or 42 years old, and he was able to spin this boat in a 360-degree spin so that everyone got to see. And we were about 75 to 100 yards from the edge of this monstrous, monstrous glacier.
Oh my gosh. I have to see
Unbelievable.
pictures.
I can't wait to show you pictures. Unbelievable. Gave us all kinds of time to sit and think. I wrote another story for
Wow.
my kids' books, Thunderpaws and the Kitties of Tomorrow. We've got
Aw.
an arc with Loki is obviously Thunderpaws. We got this great stuff going on. It was a fantastic vacation.
Oh, I am so excited for you and for your wife, and just to know how much you enjoyed it. It makes me, again, feel enthusiastic about getting out of the house, doing things, whether it's local or not. So stay tuned, folks. We're going to news, but we will be right back. We'll be talking to Peter Gordon. So don't go away. You know who he is. He'll give you some big deals. Welcome back to Seniors Rock Radio, and we are rocking with that music today. We are also going to have some fun here with Peter Gordon. And if you're a listener, you know that he's the founder and indoor air quality specialist with Indoor Air Professionals. And it's always great to see him. Hi, Peter. Good to see you
Good
today.
morning. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, Jody.
Thanks for joining us because, we're going to press you a little bit here at the end for some stuff and some big deals.
Okay.
But first, I'll tell the folks who are new that Peter and his brothers started Indoor Air Professionals in 1992, and they did research and they do it with enthusiasm, and they proceeded to change the indoor air cleaning industry. I say that with confidence because to this day, they have the only technology that is specified by engineers for use in hospitals. That's pretty nice. And they clean 95 to 99% of all the contamination out of your ductwork with their air duct cleaning. Now, that's in comparison to competitors that only clean 40 to 50%. It's because of the technology and because of Peter and his brother. So I see Michael has a question. Mike, say hello to Peter.
Hello, Peter. Good to
Hey,
see you
Mike.
again. How you
Yeah,
been?
I'm great, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard your phone's blowing up, and I think that's amazing. I think that's
Yeah.
wonderful. We hear so much about indoor air quality, and you should do this and you should do that, or don't do this or don't do that. What are some of the ones that are out there, and what ones are real?
Yeah, that's a great question. You kind of put me on the spot. So where do I start? Hey, why don't we flash back to the Canadian wildfires, right? It's still fresh in our memories, right? It was brutal. Okay.
I could smell it here last week, Peter. Go ahead.
Okay. Well,
I thought I stuck my nose out the window. I said, I love a wood fire. And then all of a sudden I realized what it was. I shut the door.
Yeah, but it was so bad for a while. I mean, the good was it was creating beautiful sunsets, things that we hadn't seen since our hippie days. But no.
On the anniversary of Woodstock. Nice.
Right. I know. Yeah, the magical vegetables. Okay. So, anyways, people would think here's a myth. I go inside, I'm safe. No. Indoor air quality is way worse than a smoky environment outside. Okay, number one. Number two is I can easily fix this with like a HEPA filtered air purifier. And I've got to tell you that internet is loaded with a lot of HEPA filtered air purifiers, which range from $29 to $2,900. And there's so much junk out there. And we'll talk about that later. The other one is all I got to do is get my ducts cleaned, and the sinus allergies, headaches, and all that will go away. So those are the three myths that stand out. And so we, in 32 years, 70,000 customers, all the hospitals, schools, and the U.S. Navy have figured out how to bust those myths, if that makes sense. And the biggest thing is, I just said the duct cleaning, the best equipment out there only cleans 40 to 50% of the contamination out of the ductwork. You already mentioned that. That's so important. And we have this technology that's gets 95 to 99% out. You're never going to get 100%, but when you get that 90+%, it makes a world of difference in people's health.
So thank you, Peter. So do seasons, is one season worse than the other? Is summertime worse than anything else because of pollen or whatever's in the air? Or is it just, it's pretty much tough all year long? And
if you've never done it before, there's no better time to do it. We operate 52 weeks a year. We close down for about 8 holidays and Sundays, but nonetheless, in the summertime, you get an issue with humidity that wreaks havoc, because people say they get sick from air conditioning, and it's not the cool air itself going from 88 and humid down to, 74 degrees. That's where I keep my thermostat. They think that's what makes them sick, but it's the showering of the moisture from the cooling coils, which makes the air conditioning, onto all the detritus in the ductwork, which is, largely we, the people that shed 50 million dead skin cells per person per day, builds up this gray fur with all the construction debris. You saw what came out, Joanna.
I did
dead
see
animals.
What came out.
Yeah, we find
there was no dead animals in mine. No, there was not. Don't say that. But there was wood. There was stuff in here from the original build, like over 30 years ago. So, folks, I am agreeing here with Peter. Then we are so happy we got our air ducts cleaned. In fact, I got to tell you real fast, because we only have a couple of minutes. I had a girlfriend to ask me last week, Joanna, is it true you don't have to dust as much when you get your air ducts cleaned? And I said, yes, it is. And I'm still enjoying that. In fact, the other day I was laughing. I had my duster out. I'm ready to dust. I'm like, there's no dust. I was almost disappointed.
You can come to my house.
Yeah.
We have a shedding Akita. We'll find you stuff to clean.
Yeah, dogs. Yeah. So really, you have like a holistic approach, Peter, at Indoor Air Professionals. And tell us some of the things that you do, some of those testing mechanisms you have to provide solutions for folks.
Right. Yeah. So you've seen the demonstration. We have like a laser particle counter, or I should say a laser particle counter, and it measures a cubic feet of air. And we usually see indoors anywhere between 500,000 and 1 million ultrafine particles. And when I put it over our brand of medical grade air purifier by Healthway, it goes from 1 million down to 0 in 10 seconds. So that's amazing. And so we measure the science. When I do that with a HEPA filter, the best, let's say $1,000 HEPA filter, it only goes down to about 250,000. So those units leave a lot on the table.
Wow. Okay. Now we need to get to the deals, because I know you do that, and I know you offered some folks some stuff on the radio this morning that went crazy. So tell us about that. 20% off air duct cleaning for your first time, folks. Do it. Do not wait. I'm telling you now, we waited and we are so happy we got it done. Also, $350 off, is it, Peter, for the Healthway Deluxe Portable Medical Grade Air
That is
Purifier?
correct. Yep.
Cool. And one more, that
Three-
April Air High Capacity Dehumidifier. If you're having those moisture problems, right? $300 off, folks. Call today. Peter, you're going to be there when you get off the air?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just call 585-427-8020, and I'll be here all day. Yeah. So if it goes to voicemail, fear not, I will get back to you. But yeah, it's because you'll see, we'll pare this back as we head into fall. That's the busiest time. Right now, we can get you scheduled within 2 weeks. Sometimes it goes out to a month if you wait until the furnaces kick on in October.
Good point. And I hate that smell when you first turn them on. So get rid of it before it comes, folks. Call 427-8020. Get the deals today. Peter's right there. He's waiting. He's bored. He wants you to call him. Do it.
All right.
Thank you. We'll have you back in the fall, too, to tell us more about how we can keep our indoor air clean, Peter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, go
Thank
Bills.
you, Peter.
Yeah. All right.
Next, we're going to wrap up the hour with more great info for all adults and people that think they are not adults right here on News Radio Wham 1180. Hey, welcome back to Seniors Rock. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday. Joanna, I love co-hosting with you. It is always so much fun. I just get so excited to get on radio, and Pam, the producer, is killing it for us and getting everything go. So thank you very much. You know, you get into these trips and I try to stay in my headspace and just experience and then sort of reflect when you get back. But I had this really interesting thing happen that I'm sitting in Iceland or Greenland in Korkatok, in this tiny little town. The second town we went to had 500 residents. That's all that's there. But we had 5-bar cell signal.
What?
And we had 5-bar cell signal. I had better cell signal there than I get driving home sometimes. And I thought to myself, you know, we really are interconnected, aren't we? That everything we do affects everything else that we do. And sometimes you just kind of sit back and reflect and go, all right, how is this going to affect? The one port we went into said we were the first cruise ship all season because the icebergs didn't clear out the way they normally do because more of them fell off. And this is not to be one of those conversations, you know. But I know.
Don't make me worry.
Everything is interconnected. And you see this and you feel this, and the more you travel, the more you realize that no one's alone. You can be by yourself if you want to. You can be with a community if you want to. You can be whatever you want to. But no one's alone and doesn't have to be, because I was able to send texts to my family with pictures from Greenland. It was fabulous. Cool. It was
I would
just
love
fabulous.
you. If you would send us some of those pictures, I'll post them on our Facebook page. And I think I love your enthusiasm, Mike. It's amazing that you're kind of repeating the things that I've heard before, but you make it real, because you always hear people say when you travel, it expands your mind. You realize all these things, but you just put it into words. So thank you. It's really, it's great. I love it.
It is my pleasure. I mean, my company has a travel agency called Travel by Leisure Care. And our job, besides taking care of our staff that can use it, but we plan trips for residents. So we've got one coming next summer, believe it or not, to Niagara Falls. Now you might say you're here in Rochester going, Niagara Falls, really? But for people that in other parts of the country that have never seen this, and we make it safe and okay for seniors to travel because our staff and the leisure care staff go with them. Yeah. So we're going to bring a bunch of people into Rochester next summer to take some buses and go up to both sides of the falls, see the American side, hike the trails, go up to the Canadian side, see the clock, go down to Niagara on the Lake. And they're thrilled because they never thought of this as a destination. So
isn't it one of the 7 wonders of the world?
It is one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Huge. And people that are on the West Coast have no idea. They've never seen it. Heck, there's a lot of Rochesterians that have never seen it. So, you know, it's
true,
just
sad, but true.
But so this travel thing is not just me. We do this as a matter of course for our seniors. We want people to continue to learn and be lifelong learners and expand.
That is awesome. And folks, if you just tuned in, I hope you didn't because you missed all the show, but you can hear it again. We will be putting it up on seniorsrockradio.com, and that'll be in the next couple of days. And you can hear Mike talk about his trip to Iceland and what happened to him in the fjords. That is pretty crazy. It almost makes me want to storm and then to go on the trip so that I can get stuck in a fjord.
It was a fortuitous thing to have happen because we got to spend just this amazing time seeing these huge I mean, it looked like the Adirondacks with water. It was gorgeous.
And I have my Adirondack shirt on, coincidentally.
I see
Isn't that funny? Anyway, you are a joy to have on, and I thank you for being the co-host today and for doing that every once in a while with us, because I know you're a busy man and you're over there on that campus, and you've got things going on at home and you're traveling and all kinds of things happening. But folks, here's an example of someone that takes it and runs with it and enjoys life. So I've been, you give me enthusiasm for doing that. So thank you, Mike, and thank you for being here today.
You are so welcome.
Folks, we're going to thank our sponsors too, including Mike Matteo, today's co-host, and Peter Gordon for reminding us to care about clean indoor air. Next Saturday, an expert from Benefit Reps of America will be with us. And we'll also kick off an exciting new Broadway and Brighton theater season at the OFC Creations Theater Center. We'll have some stars here on the air, so come back next week. We'll be here at 11 o'clock like we are every Saturday, right here on Seniors Rock.
Rock!